Hello everyone, it's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, video number 88. Today I want to talk about some of my experience recently with my rowing machine. As you probably know, I do a lot of indoor rowing, and currently there's a fall challenge on, which means different teams accumulate their meters from the September the 15th to October the 15th. And during that period of time, you enter teams, everyone rows for that 31 days, and it's just a method of motivating the teams to continue rowing. This time, from September the 15th, I rowed for the first 2 weeks, and I did 280 kilometers, which meant I did 20 kilometers, just over 20 kilometers a day. And then I stopped because, as you probably know, if you've watched the videos, I've been on the boat and I have not had access to the rowing machine. Coming back, I now have 5 days left, or had 5 days left, before the competition ends on October the 15th. And I looked at my 280 kilometers and said, I wonder if I can make that 500 kilometers. If I do, in those 5 days, it means I have to average 45 kilometers a day. So the last 3 days, I have rowed the equivalent of 45 kilometers. I have 2 days left, today and tomorrow, and looks like I will meet my goal of 500 kilometers for the fall challenge for our team. Ancient Mariners. And as you notice, I have the Ancient Mariners hat, which my friend Ken, who owns the boat, lent me his hat because he has an Ancient Mariner hat and I didn't have one. So he said, you can borrow it. So I thought, well, that's appropriate since I belong to the Ancient Mariner rowing team. Which brings me to rowing marathons. Almost probably 20 years ago, maybe 19 years ago, was the very first challenge that Concept2 did, say, row a marathon within this period of a few days. And I thought, gee, I wonder if I could row a marathon. Never done anything like that in my life. And I asked my son-in-law, who now is in California. He had run marathons, not road marathons, but run marathons. I said, how did you prepare? He said, well, you built up. So I did a little bit of building up and training. And the day of the marathon, I rode the 42 kilometers and 195 meters. So it's 42,195 total meters. And after rowing that marathon, I couldn't move. My muscles just tensed up and I could hardly walk. I couldn't bend down to untie my shoes. I had to go collect my daughter, who was in elementary school at that time, and I couldn't get out of the car. She remembered, I spoke to her just the other day telling her what I'm doing. She said, yeah, I remember. I had to untie your shoes for you. I was sore for 3 days. That was the first marathon I rode. A year or so later, I rode a marathon and I broke the world record for my time for the age group of 60 to 69, I think, in the 60, whatever the age group is, 60 plus to 69, I believe. And I did that in under 3 hours. I don't remember exactly, 2 hours and 50 something minutes, if I recall, something to that. And that record held for 8 or 9 years until some fella in Hawaii knocked that to smithereens. Looking at that particular age group now, I looked on the records and there's a fella from Finland who broke the record now. He was 61 in 2018 and the record still is holding. He did it in 2 hours and 33 minutes. So that's the record for 60 plus. So if I'm going to do, which I have done in the last 3 days, 45 kilometers, that means I'm rowing a marathon plus a few kilometers each day in 5 days in a row. And I can do that now, which 20 years ago, when I first did a marathon, it was torture. I couldn't walk. And I was stiff for 3 days later. And now, in the last 3 days, I've rowed, and today I'll row another one, and tomorrow I'll row a third one. So it just shows you what you can do when you put your mind to it. So why am I telling you all this? Well, it just shows you what you can do. We often make excuses. Oh, you're too old to do these things. Well, rowing and the team I belong to, the Ancient Mariners, there are some people that do exceptional. And I'll give you an example. In this fall challenge, the leader in our Ancient Mariners is a 78-year-old lady, almost same age as me. She's from Kansas, and so far she has rowed almost 2,000 kilometers, which is 2 million meters. She will have rowed that by the end of the day. She's at 1,949 kilometers so far, which means that she rows, I don't know, guessing 8 hours a day for the full 31 days. And when I look at the individuals for this challenge, of which there's thousands of people rowing in this challenge, she's coming in third for the individuals. There's a young person who is 17 years old, and he has rowed 2,143 kilometers so far. And he's the first one. The second one is out of New Zealand, and he's rowed 2,119 kilometers. And Darlene in the Ancient Mariners has rowed 1,949 kilometers. She's third place out of the thousands of people. And she is 78, and the winner, the one person beating her, is 17. There's no age for the person in New Zealand, but I can assure you he's nowhere in the age group of Darlene and the Ancient Mariners. So it just shows you what you can do if you put your mind to it. So I mentioned that. So rowing marathons, I'm rowing the equivalent of just over a marathon for these last 5 days. So with that, I'll say adios, au revoir, wishing you, your family and friends lots of love and laughter. Bye for now, from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.